Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important directive of Angular, that is ngClass. So in this session, we will talk about ngClass, we will discuss what is ngClass, why do we need it, and how we can utilize the ngClass for applying the customized CSS. Okay. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngClass directive. But prior to that, you should know what is component TS file, what is HTML file, what is CSS file, and bit about the basics of CSS. Because once you are comfortable with these prerequisites, then it is very easy for you to directly apply the ngClass directive. Okay, so I think now agenda is clear, like what we are going to do in this session, and now we will proceed in very similar way. Firstly, we will start with the definition. We will talk what is ngClass directive, and then we will see the practical example, and we will also verify the output. Clear? Alright, so let's get started. The first thing is definition. So if someone asks you in the interview what is ngClass directive, so you can simply say that ngClass is a directive that helps us to add and remove the CSS dynamically. Okay, because on HTML elements we can apply the CSS, we know the traditional way, right? Through CSS we can create one CSS file and we can apply it, right? But instead of that, if you want to apply some CSS manually, so in that case what we will do, we will use the ngClass directive. If you remember, in our previous session we also talked about the ngStyle directive, right? So at the end we will also discuss what is the difference between ngClass and ngStyle directive. But for now we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngClass directive. So if someone asks you, you can simply say that ngClass directive is a directive that helps us to apply the CSS dynamically on HTML element. Okay. Alright. Now the next thing is what modules we are supposed to use in order to use the ngClass directive. So for that we should use common module. It comes with common module. Okay, so let's simply go to app.component.ts file. Here in this file we have export class and we have import section. So in this import section we will simply write common module. Once you hit enter, it will automatically add this common module in the line number 2, or wherever it is added. It should be added at least. So if it is added, that means now you are good to use the ngClass directive. Okay. Alright, so let's go to app.component.html now, because in this TS file we just need to import common module for this example, because we are just going to use it, use the CSS. We are not going to make any dynamic changes or anything. We will just simply use the CSS through ngClass directive, because this is just a introduction session. Okay, perfect. Now let's go to app.component.html file. Here you can see one heading is coming, that is Angular Directives demo by Tech Sharmit. Now what we will do here, we will add one more heading with h2, where we will mention ngClass directive in Angular. So this is our main topic. So after this heading, what we will do, we will simply add one paragraph, because we want to apply the CSS to a paragraph text. Okay, so for that you just need to write some data in this paragraph. So now we will write some sample data. So we can write, in this session we will learn about Angular ngClass directive of Angular. Now we will give one BR tag here just to increase the size of text, and then we can write all these this entire session include theoretical and practical content. Okay, just this is just a sample text. Okay, so we just added this paragraph. Now after this, our requirement is that we want to apply the CSS on this text, but through ngClass directive, not through normal traditional way, because through traditional way you know how to do this, right? But here we will do through ngClass. Okay, all right. So now what need to do? Let's go to app.component.css file. Here in this file we will define one class. So for class we will use here dot and then the name of the class. So maybe we can give some meaningful name. Let's say change paragraph CSS. So this is the class name, and dot we use for the class, right? Now you can simply use curly braces. In this curly braces, let's say I want to change the color of the text. So for that what I will do, I will simply write here color. Okay, let me clear it. Let me show you the first without CSS, so that those who are not aware of CSS they can relate it. Okay, so here we will write ngserve -- open, enter. It will wait for a few seconds and then it will show the output. Perfect. So here you can see we are getting one main heading, that is Angular Directive Demo by Sharmit. Then we have a secondary heading which is ngClass Directive in Angular, and then we have one paragraph. Okay, now what we will do after this we will simply go to app.component.css, and now we will write the class. So dot, then class name is change paragraph CSS. Okay, then double curly braces. In this double curly braces we will write firstly the color, and in color we will write the text color, whatever color you want to apply. Let's say I want to apply the blue color, so I can simply use blue here. Perfect. So this color is added. Now you can see it is not applied yet here. Why? Because we are not using so far, like we are not using the ngClass directive. So for that, just simply go to app.component.html. Here in the paragraph tag, simply write ngClass, and then in this, if you write something like this, change paragraph, and remember this is case sensitive. Okay, so if you write something without case mismatch, it will not work. Now some of you might be thinking like, why it is not showing the error? Why it is showing the error? We have declared already the class, because here you need to use single quote inside a double quote to use this class, to refer this class. Okay, so once I added this, once I save this and refresh my code, my browser, so you will see that in this session we will learn about ngClass directive of Angular. This entire session includes theoretical and practical content. Let me correct the spelling, although this is just a sample text, but still we should follow the correct approach. So now you can see it is coming with a blue color. So this is what we were looking for, right? Although like it is just similar to the traditional CSS, but there are some benefits also, and the benefit is that we can make it dynamic. That means we can change the things, we can change the CSS at runtime. That I will show in the next session, because for now we are just introducing with this ngClass directive. Okay, now let's say along with this you also want to apply some CSS to it. Let's say background color. So for that we will write here background color, where we will add, let's say, yellow. Okay, so you will see it is coming with a yellow color. If you want to increase the size, you can say similarly add the font size, and let's add here 80 pixels. Okay, so you can see 80 pixel. And if you want to apply some border, that you can also do border. Here we can write 5 pixels solid black, enter. So you can see this is how it is coming. So in short, we utilized ngClass directive for applying the CSS to this paragraph, although this is not dynamic yet, because we are just using it for the introduction purpose. From next session we will try to explore many other advantages of using ngClass directive, and in this session we just mainly discussed what is ngClass directive and how we can use it for applying the normal CSS, not the dynamic one. Okay, in the next session we will talk about the dynamic CSS. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.